Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is 0:30. And boy, we got a discussion point here on this Friday morning. That's right, folks. It's the holiday season. It's Christmas time. And we're going to have a discussion that is dark, dark, dark. As dark as the night sky is out here. Well, this was released yesterday. And this is a no bullshit. Oh, we're going to bullshit about it. And it is a bunch of bullshit. I'm not bullshitting you about its veracity. Late yesterday, it was revealed that the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd, who I call the loser, Austin, made an appearance before Congress in what was supposed to be a very private, very secure discussion. You know, one of those, this is top secret type things. And he told them, he explained to Congress that your dad's uncles and sons will be over fighting Russia unless you fund the Ukraine war effort that Biden wants. Now, let's excuse, if we shall, let us excuse Lloyd Austin of being responsible for this statement. They said those had been his words and it was his idea to threaten that the United States of America will be the one over there fighting Russia. Let's just say the loser Austin wanted to put your dads, your moms, your sons, your daughters, your uncles even. Yeah, he did use the word uncle, I believe. Someone fact check John on the uncle thing. If that was Lloyd's idea, you should be fired, right? Biden would be pissed. I never said that. I didn't want that. No, he knows exactly what he said. And that's exactly what the administration wants, to threaten America with going into Ukraine to fight Russia themselves. What's the difference, folks, between Ukraine idiots going over to Russia to the border and killing themselves, and American soldiers and Marines being sent over there to get killed? Well, you know, of course, training. We have better training, better equipment, better ideas. Really, those are American ideas at play right now in Ukraine, how to fight Russia. Okay, guys, so what you do is you go up to the front line and you stand there and you get blown to fucking ribbons. There's our war plan right there. Thanks, NATO. Thanks, Pentagon. Good luck, Ukraine. How's that working out for you? Never should the funding of anything the U.S. government does have the threat of sending Americans, especially specific subgroups like, well, fathers, uncles, and sons, over to a situation that isn't a declared war. It's a special military operation being conducted by Russia, folks, to help the people of Ukraine who wanted out of Ukraine, to stop being slaughtered in Ukraine, to stop the genocide that's going on in Ukraine. That's what this is about. This is not the United States of America declaring war constitutionally and going over there to fight for the freedom of Americans. None of that makes any sense, does it? America was never attacked in any of this. So, what do we have here, folks? We have a real threat. Now, if he had said, look, American soldiers may have to go over there and fight the Russians if they become more aggressive, but he just said, no, your fathers, uncles, and sons. Since when does a congressman anywhere from the age of 40 to 70 have to send his father to fight? That's sending a 60 to 90-year-old man to war. Does that make a lick of fucking sense to anybody? Anybody? Bueller? No, it doesn't make a lick of sense to threaten their dads. Now, let me say it this way. Was Lloyd the loser? Did he think he was talking to the Ukraine Congress? Because Ukraine is sending old men, their own uncles, and of course their own sons, to fight and die with piss-poor training and ill-equipped and, well, I don't even want to call it leadership in the military. That's what they're doing to their people, folks. As far as I'm concerned, Ukraine is committing an act of genocide. And by threatening, fathers, uncles, and sons in America, I think Lloyd is offering the same thing. What an abusive pile of shit. That's exactly what Lloyd is. He's an abusive pile of shit. Let me explain. If we need to be going to war, if we need to go fight Russia, why don't you justify it by explaining why we need to go fight Russia instead of making people afraid for their family members after they've been threatened that they'll be sent to get killed there? That is absolutely obscene on the part of Lloyd the Loser Austin. And this is real, folks. It's not made up. That's what he said. That is what has been released. That's how they pass things in Congress. You'll send your kids to war if you don't like it. If you don't agree with us. We're being held hostage. $60 billion is what they wanted. Now, I'll tell you what. I'm glad the Republicans didn't just cave right there and say, oh, shit, well, we better give you all the money you want then. $60 billion is what Biden and Zelensky want. $60 billion. They've already been given over $120 billion. They want another 50% of the total war chest in one big fat shot. Biden's son, by the way, Hunter, now has another 9 federal counts, I guess including tax evasion, that not the IRS, but the Department of Justice is going after him for. Just last night, announced it. And Biden, Joe El Presidente, is tied to it. He is tied to the business, let's call it business dealings. The bribery extortion schemes of Hunter Biden, using his dad as a threat, as a tool. Once again, threatening in politics. Either you do this or I'll do that. Quid pro quo, Joe. That's what's going on here, folks. And Biden's Secretary of Defense think that's how you conduct yourself as the Secretary of Defense. That's how you sell Congress for funding, is to threaten them, to threaten you and me, to threaten our kids. Folks, it has hit the fan. These fucking people have lost their shit. If they're willing to say that and do that, oh, they're willing to do so much more. They're willing to consider anything to get their way, including the most aggressive and nasty false flags. Yes, you know, like the Nord Stream pipeline bombing. It wasn't just a pipeline, folks. It was the main artery feeding energy to Europe, so they didn't die, so businesses can be conducted. And luckily, they had one of the most mild winters on record last year in Europe. Wonder if they altered the weather, right? All of us crazy wacko conspiracy guys, to make sure it wasn't too cold. But yeah, they cut off the gas. With that move, they cut off the gas. The single most expensive act of terror ever committed, barely covered by the news. That's our government. Oh, wait. The U.S. government never accepted responsibility for that, John. Of course they didn't. But Poland and other countries congratulated America and thanked them for doing it, because everybody has the technology and explosives to find a pipeline, locate it, plant bombs on it, get in and out without anyone noticing or seeing them or recording it or reporting it. And then have it happen and then not even have an investigation, that when they finally did get around to an investigation, it was so fucking botched, there was no conclusion come to. What a bunch of shit, folks. Yeah, they're willing to do anything. They're willing to say anything. That's how criminal the government has become. Are you prepared for it to get worse? Are you prepared for it to come to your state, your county, maybe even your city, and affect you directly? That's what prepping is about. It's not about entertaining conspiracy theories. It's about being prepared for the conspiracy against us, America, to get to the point where you have to rely on yourself to get by from day to day. Whether it's destroying the relationships we have with our children through the education system, or the relationship we have with our local and state governments through the corruption and destruction of the Constitution, to allow the state as a pawn and tool of the federal government to become abusive to the point where people say no more. Military, legal, economic, financial, every system, folks, every system. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Back into the darkness.